The author explains his affinity with a non-place full of non-traditions, having lived in the suburbs of London's inner west, middle and Surrey. Suburbia is my kind of place. Julian Barnes. Photograph, Roberto Ricciuti. Getty Images. Writers are traditionally supposed to have a sense of place, aren't they? Visit Hardy's, Dorset, Austin's Bath, Brooklyn, take the Charles Dickens Big Red Bus tour, and so on. This territoriality wasn't a literary impediment, rather, it concentrated their focus. As Flaubert put it, to be local is to be universal. Nowadays, with increasing global migration, the norm has changed. Many novelists work from a sense of displacement, of dislocation, their protagonists spiritually split between their birth world and subsequent destination. Instead of the writer fiercely attached to a piece of ground, we have the transglobal writer as fertile, absorbent victim and beneficiary of a collision of cultures, religions, languages. I fall between these two poles. I spent my first 10 years in an inner West London suburb, my next 10 in an outer northwest suburb. I have lived abroad a little, traveled a fair amount, but essentially spent my last 45 years in and around the same tube station. Yet I certainly don't feel the genius loci of Tufnell Park very strongly. It is a congenially anonymous place to live. I enjoy its location, shops, weekly farmers market, its access to parks, comparative quiet, and lack of knife crime. Others might prioritize schools, hospitals and parking. But these are characteristics common to many inner suburbs. There is a sentimental fantasy that London consists of a spread of interlinked villages, each retaining its original specificity. I don't think there's much truth in this. Everywhere, you see the same food chains and cafes, charity shops and bus termini, also an astonishing number of estate agents. A Martian might conclude that these villagers spend their entire time drinking coffee and selling one another their flats and houses. And as a consequence, I have no sense of the great Tufnell Park novel fermenting away inside me. The Northwood police station had a birdhouse on a pole in its front garden. Even this birdhouse was mock Tudor. On the other hand, Northwood, Middle, where I spent the second decade of my life and came to sentience, this seemed to have affected my writing. The title of my first novel, Metroland, appears to invoke and celebrate the sense of place. However, despite its cozy Betjamanic associations, the point about Metroland, and its writerly attraction, is that from the beginning it was a kind of fake place. The name, an act of branding, was thought up by property developers and railway companies as the underground network expanded. The line wasn't built to serve existing areas, the place was invented to serve the railway. So it was a non-place full of non-traditions, where, appropriately enough, the predominant architectural style was mock Tudor. The Northwood police station, a few hundred yards from where I lived, had a birdhouse on a pole in its front garden. Even this birdhouse was mock Tudor. Most of the breadwinners who lived there spent 5 days in 7 getting out of the place. Work was in London. So too, for me, was school, an hour SOS journey on 3 different tube lines to Blackfriars. This pallid nomadism gave me a fairly strong sense of non-place. To adapt Larkin, something, like nothing, happens anywhere. Or, to adapt the Prime Minister, to be a citizen of nowhere much is to be a citizen of the world. Which is what a writer, consciously or unconsciously, seeks to be. I return to leafy, neutral, unaggressive outer suburbia, Surrey, this time, as the starting point of my latest novel, the only story. Its 20-ish protagonist itches to escape from what he judges a place of spiritual torpor. But it is also a place, as he discovers, where something as well as nothing may happen. A big something, which turns out to command and oversee his entire life. I like this idea of a pale background wash, against which the rich colors of emotional action can show up more dramatically. Somewhat ruefully, I have to admit that, for me as a writer, suburbia is my kind of place. The Only Story by Julian Barnes, Jonathan Cape, £16.99. To order a copy for £12.99, go to guardianbookshop.com or call 0330333646. Free UK PP over £10, online orders only. Phone orders min. PP of £1.99.